Oh, hello, hello, hello. This is Jofer, and I'm your cranky old gay guy. And today, what's driving me cranky? Well, amongst other things, you can see I'm wearing a shirt. That's because it's kind of chilly and it's gross outside. It's no longer warm. It's overcast. It's cloudy. It's going to rain. It's just a downer of a day. It just makes me feel miserable. It's like summer's over and it hasn't even started. Before we get started, I would like to let you know that today's episode is being brought to you by this fantastic book called 35 Letters, Letters from a Mother to Her Son by Joseph L. Ferguson. It is available on Amazon. In this book, a collection of letters, 35 of them, ranging from 1972 to 1980, are written by a woman who lives in South Texas. She's very conservative, Christian, and she's writing letters to her son who is no longer at home. And we don't really know why he's not at home until we get in a few letters, and then you kind of figure it out. This book is housed in the gay and lesbian section, so it's because he's gay. That's why he's not at home. The letters are touching, and they are fictitious, but they tell a really good story of a mother's love for her son through talking about small town gossip and family matters and throwing in a lot of passive aggressive guilt. You'll see that this woman is trying to keep her family together, her lifestyle together. She's trying to come to terms with where her son is versus her religion versus her husband versus society in general. There's a lot of historical things thrown into the book as well. It's a good read. It's a quick read. The audiobook is about 3 hours and 20 minutes, so that's probably how long it'll take you to read the book. It's available in all formats. It's available on Amazon, and I highly recommend it. Okay, now back to the show. What we're going to talk about today is TERFs. For those of you who do not know what a TERF is, I'm going to read you the definition. It is derogatory. It's a person whose views on gender identity are considered hostile to transgender people or who opposes social and political policies designed to be inclusive of transgender people. So, in other words, it's haters of trans people. Yeah, that's my opinion. That's the way I see it. You don't have to agree. As far as TERFs, I didn't know what they were last year, but I heard it on a talk show or something, so I looked it up. And I have seen a lot of videos dealing with this subject on YouTube, some pro TERF, some anti TERF. The biggest the biggest pro TERF that I've come across in the news is J.K. Rowling. And it started when someone put out a tweet that was not kind to transgender people, and she liked it, and then she reposted it. That's my understanding, and that's what started this whole thing. And then when she was confronted about it, she became defensive and started talking about how transgender women aren't really women. And that's what started the whole hatred issue, and why she's despised and has lost so many, why she's despised by so many and has lost so many fans. Oh boy. I was surfing on YouTube and I came across what can only be called, it's a channel, and I call it TERF Talk because it's this lady, female woman, who is talking to other women. And I started with the one that said, Ellen talks about San Francisco in the 70s or the early 80s. And I was thinking Ellen DeGeneres because of the little thumbnail, you couldn't tell. And then I open it up and it's just another old lesbian. It's not Ellen. And this woman, her entire spiel was anti-trans. Um, it was hard to listen to because she seemed so with it and hip. And then she got into the whole trans issue very quickly and kept referring to trans women as he's, and that they're not real women and that there's only two genders. Well, I'm old, but I also live in the now, and that is not how, at least the younger people that I know, and associate with, feel. Um, Transgender women are women. Transgender men are men. They may not physically be exactly the same as a cisborn man or woman. Genetically, they're never going to be the same as a man or a woman born that as a cis. And cis just means born as. Um, I'm gasping, trying to say something that's not going to be offensive to anyone. So I'm going to reel it back a little bit. And I don't want to defame anyone. Um, so the woman that I'm talking about that was in this um, TERF Talk video, she gave two examples of women's rights being stomped on. And her two examples were going to a bathhouse for women, primarily lesbian in San Francisco. I guess it doesn't exist anymore. And she got into the hot tub, I guess, and there was a trans woman post-op in the tub with her. And she described the trans woman as he, and he might have had surgery, but he still looked like a linebacker, and it was very uncomfortable for me. And he decided to talk to me like I was his buddy. So get up and leave, or go talk to management, say someone's bothering you. I don't know. But uh, the other issue, the other example was um, the Women's Music Festival. Now, I don't know if she went, but she was talking about it. And I've heard other women complain back in the 90s about allowing only real women into the Women's Music Festival because it's a women's safe space. So they don't want to see any male genitalia and they don't want to have any male energy. And on the TERF side of things, that's their feeling too, is that unless you're born a woman, you don't belong there. But as far as male energy, I have met many women who have much stronger male energy than me or a lot of other guys. And I have met a lot of men who have more feminine energy than a lot of the women that I know. So I don't think the whole energy excuse is a good excuse. I think it's just bull. And she's hiding her prejudice behind women's rights. Now, I am not a woman, so I can't speak for women, but I do know about same sex spaces. We used to have them called gay bars back in the good old days. Well, then gays started bringing their fag hags, which would be a woman, primarily a cis woman, who would come who likes to spend time around gay men. And that was fine. No one really had a problem with it. The only issues I've seen in gay bars with females are when a bachelorette party comes in and there'll be 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15 women will come in. One will have a veil on and they're all very loud and they've been drinking and they're having a good time. And they find that they're not the center of attention. So they make even more noise and they become more obnoxious to gain attention because the straight woman will go into a straight bar and if she wants attention, she can get it just like that. And she can be the center of everyone's attention, of the male gaze. But when you go into a gay bar, she doesn't get it. So then she acts up and her friends act up so they can get that attention. And that is really obnoxious. But am I saying we should ban all women from gay bars because they're not born gay, instead they're born straight? No, I'm not. I'm not saying that at all. But it does make me cranky to see anyone mistreat someone because they don't fit the narrow stereotype or the narrow definition of what they think a woman or a man is. So that's it on the TERF issue. I don't know if there's a lot more to it because it seems really simple to me. Just don't discriminate against anyone. I will slightly touch on the one issue. Someone brought up to me when it came to transgenderism isn't that it's not right that we're butchering or mutilating the genitalia of children. I have yet to see one example of that, either in a newspaper or even in a documentary of where a child a cis-born child, a cis male or cis female, was as a child transformed into the opposite sex before puberty. Okay? I know that some children are born intersex or have genitalia both, and then it's the doctor-parent decision as to what you want to do. If you want to make the child look more presentable as a male or as a female, and then they'll have genital surgery because they have both. I mean, I've heard of that before, but I've never heard of a child having a mastectomy to become a boy, or a little boy having his junk cut off and having a vaginoplasty so he can be a girl. Those are things that the right wing, primarily MAGA, yeah, I'm talking to you, MAGA people. It's primarily what I hear them say, and I hear it on Fox News, and I hear it from people like MTG, who every time she spouts her mouth, it's something hate-filled, anti-gay, anti-trans. So all that's bull. It's crap. It makes me cranky. I don't know what's coming of that. So that's how I feel on the whole TERF issue. I think TERFs are just hypocrites and bigots, and they hide their racism behind women's rights. When you'll find that a lot of women don't feel that way, and a lot of women are in full support of transgender males and females. One other topic I've heard was that a lesbian woman would say, well, just because this trans woman has gone through surgery doesn't mean that I should have to date them. Well, you shouldn't have to date them. You shouldn't have to date anyone. And just because someone's the same sex as you or the opposite sex doesn't mean that you have to go out with them. So I don't even know why that issue came up, but I've heard it mentioned several times from several different people. So it might just be part of the whole right-wing talking points that you'll hear over and over and over again that make no sense, and it's crap. I'm going to wrap this up, and I'm going to try to work on the quality of this video. I'm using a ring light right now, but it doesn't seem to change the quality. And I have on this old PC, I have my video enhanced as much as it can go as far as clarity goes. It's still kind of grainy. I said I'm going to talk about other podcasters and channels. What I find is that there is a, this is going to sound sexist because, you know, back in my day, I could be sexist and it was okay because I'm a guy, right? There is a YouTuber in the UK named Emma Thorne, Thorne, and she has a channel, lots of videos. I find her to be delightful. I think she identifies as queer or bisexual. She does live with a man. She has short hair and glasses, and she wears funny t-shirts, I guess you'd call them funny. Oh, and she's got this, she's into video games, and she likes stuffed animals, and she's always pushing this plushy stuff. Anyway, I find her delightful. I think she's very insightful. She's very smart. For a person who is right around 30, I think she just turned 30. She knows a lot about a lot. She has a background of religion and cultism and conspiracy theory. I say cultism because I think religion is a cult. Yeah, and I mean almost every religion is cultish to a certain extreme. So she talks about equality issues, and she also debunks conspiracy theories. And I really enjoy when she'll take on a conservative Christian video and point out its fallacies and how it's actually just a scam because they're trying to sell you a product. Something I think is worth checking out, and you should look at it. I believe she's also done something on TERFs in the past, if I recall. I've seen, she's got so many videos out there, I don't remember. Anyway, Emma Thorne on YouTube. And Emma, if you see this, I will say, I will continue to describe you as a cute little pixie, because you are. You'd be a cute boy, you're a cute girl. You do remind me of a pixie with the short hair and the glasses and the smile, and you're petite. So Emma Thorne in the UK, check her out. I will put her link in the not the comments, but the biography of this little video below. And I encourage you to follow me. I'm going to try to have something out every day, maybe a day or two if I decide to edit it, but I'm going to try to do something every day. I'm just getting my head wrapped around this. It's been a long time since I've done anything on camera substantial. At one point, I was an actor years and years and years ago for about 20 years. And I did a lot of television and cable stuff, but it's been a long time. My looks have changed a lot. This has changed a lot. I've got a lot more of this, a lot more of this, a lot more of this. So I'm trying to get back in the swing of things. So stay tuned. And I'm still waiting on that tagline. I have had some suggestions, but I could use some more, so leave me a message. And my email is also in the little blurb below if you want to send me anything. I think that's it for now. So until we meet again, what's that saying? Adios, au revoir, auf Wiedersehen. Good night. Those of you who are over 50 will know what that's from. Bye-bye.